Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's see if we are live, people. We about to get into it today, man. I hope y'all ready. Y'all go ahead and buckle up, man. All right. Audio seems like it's all good. And without further ado, let's get it, man. So Katt Williams went on the Shannon Sharp podcast or show, whatever you want to call it, a few days ago. And it was long, man. That thing was almost 3 hours long, and I kept hearing people talk about it, and I was like, you know what? Let me go check this thing out. And so, Cat basically said he got sick and tired. He waited for an entire year. I waited for an entire year. I sat back, I listened, I watched, and basically all them people been coming up here capping. And so today I'm coming to speak my truth. And this was one of the things that he said.
15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club.
Yeah. So let's just speak on that right there, right? I was wondering, not to throw any shade at Kevin Hart or whatever, but I was just wondering, I was like, how in the world did this kid get a shot? Like when he came on Soul Plane, I didn't know who the heck he was, but the fact that he was basically the main character, again, I ain't trying to block nobody's blessings, but I mean, it was a question that kind of popped up. Like, why? Why him? But it is what it is. This next one is Cedric the Entertainer. He gonna speak on it.
What's up? It's I'm gonna address this Katt Williams thing one time, man. I saw people on there really commenting about that. Look, I have no idea what this brother is talking about. That joke is over 30 years old, close to 30-something years old. I did the Kings of Comedy in 1999. Probably have been doing that joke 6, 7 years before that. I don't even know if Katt was doing comedy then. So, again, he's a talented brother. I have no idea what he's talking about. I've never seen Katt do a space shuttle joke. So, that may be something that he believes is true. I've written a lot of jokes. I've had a lot of comedians steal my jokes as well. So
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. He ain't even made it all the way through, but I kind of thought Sid was capping right here, man. Because even when he said, he said he changed it. It wasn't a spaceship joke. It was something like a Cadillac or something. And come on, Sid. If you took the man's joke, you took the man's joke. And he said that y'all had seen each other prior to this, and that you were basically just big up in a joke. Like, man, that was a funny joke, man. And I don't put it past him.
I understand if you feel, slighted by that, but that's my joke. That's my joke, dog. Driving spaceship to the moon, cigarette, cutie pie rocking in the background, parallel parking the spaceship. It's my joke, dog. So
2 years later, he's doing that as his last joke on the Kings of Comedy. And he's doing it verbatim. He's just changed my car into a spaceship.
I put 1999, but I don't know if that was 98 or 99. Now, again, if you look it up, the very first time, even though said that he had been doing that joke for 6 or 7 years, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I have not seen that joke come from him until we've seen that Kings of Comedy special. So if you had been doing it, brother, where is it? Where is your proof? Because Katt Williams got proof. He was doing that thing on comedy. What is it? Comedy Central, Comedy View. He was doing that thing on Comedy View, man, and he got proof. And I believe Katt Williams footage came out before they dropped the Kings of Comedy. So we need some answers, brother. We need some answers, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. It was a lot of people down in the comments when I dropped this video earlier today, about 6 hours ago, and not one person believed Cedric the Entertainer. Everybody saying that he was capping. Even up under the video that he posted, that clip or whatever, they were saying, bro, come on, man. It's cap. He got the receipts and you don't. And the bottom line is, if you don't have the proof, then chances are everybody gonna go against you, man.
Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one
You
point.
were the guy. You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up.
Now, again, I gotta stop it right here because I disagree. As much as I've been a fan, and I am a fan of Kevin Hart and his work ethic, like really seeing this dude grinding, man, to come from where he started from to where he is right now. I'm not trying to take anything away from any of his accomplishments. But in Katt Williams' defense, he said, listen, I know I effed up. That's taking accountability right there, brother. I know I effed up. Listen, the smoking, the getting locked up. Yes, he owned that on the Shannon Sharp podcast or TV or show or whatever. He said, listen, I know, I'm gonna get locked up for this or whatever, and I'm gonna be right back out. I think he got locked up somewhere between 12 and 15 times. And not once did he get sentenced or anything like that. They pretty much just took him into custody, and either a few hours or a day or two later, whatever, he ended up getting out. All right. Yes, he's had some mess ups or whatever along the way, but don't say that this man didn't take accountability, because he most certainly did. And you cannot say that he didn't show up, because he said in the video, listen, I am more than willing to do these parts, but I am not playing like you're not about to put me in a dress. That's not happening. And don't think for a second I'm about to play any homophobe or any homo part, whatever you want to call it, man. I'm not playing that mess. All right. I'm a heterosexual male, and I'm willing to play a different part as long as that don't have anything to do with me, being a woman, put me in a dress and a wig or whatever like that. And it don't have anything to do with me being a homosexual male. You take those things out, and I will be more than willing to play this part. That's exactly what he said. And I honestly believe that thing wholeheartedly. I don't think that he's going to turn down a freaking job for any other reason. Like, why would he? I mean, when we seen him in Friday After Next playing his Money Mike, like, he dominated that doggone character. I mean, man, he killed it. It was believable. And that's just my take, man. I'm gonna let
to work.
Kevin.
You fucked off promo shoots. You fucked off your promo fucking trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped fucking with you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility.
Okay, so when he said he chose drugs, let's talk about it. All right. The choice of drug was marijuana. And he even said in his comedy spell, marijuana is going to be illegal. It's going to be legal as soon as they find a way to pretty much get their part or whatever. And fast forward to today, marijuana is legal, and he actually has a prescription as to why, or giving him a pass to smoke weed. This is how it helps him deal with things. It helps him to sleep, which he was having a problem with when you're doing over 100 shows, or not over 100 shows, but you're you're doing over 100 shows and you're traveling, you're on a plane and all this, man, it's a lot. Sometimes your day don't stop until 2:00 in the morning. You might have to get back up, when the sun come up. So when it comes to eating and sleeping, that's the reason why he needed Mary J. I don't smoke, I don't drink, you know what I mean? But again, these are things that he said in his defense.
Ability for what you chose and say, you know what, I got to fix me, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to stand up for comedy. Mm-hmm. So when you say Tiffany Haddish doesn't deserve or isn't really a comedian, and these other women have worked hard, which they have. Mm-hmm. Shouts out to Melanie Camacho. Shouts out to Lou Now.
Now, shout out to Tiffany Haddish, but a lot of people say that she's not funny. And I'm thinking that's pretty much what he's saying, right? I think that's what he said. She's just not funny.
Mm-hmm. Shouts out to Leslie Jones, who are all underneath the umbrella of Katt Williams. Katt Williams, have you ever used your platform to fucking bring the people that were under you up? You haven't. So because you haven't, don't.
That's a lie. He most certainly have. He most certainly have. The thing is, when he does things, he doesn't put it out there on Front Street and let everybody know. I have literally seen tons of videos of people in the industry saying that, yo, Katt Williams, you know what I'm saying? When I got out of jail, he helped me out. He threw me $10,000. You know, when I was down and out or whatever, Katt Williams looked out for me. And, you know, up and coming comedians like Katt Williams just showed up out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying, said that he liked the show or whatever, and tossed me a couple of $1,000. You hear and how he's basically going around helping people. He's adopted like five, 6 children, something like that. Like this man is the only thing is he doesn't speak about these things publicly. And if you look at the interviews and everything that he has been doing, because he doesn't do too many interviews because he's not one of those people again that believes in putting this type of stuff out there. Like, you know, if you want to come see me, you know, do stand-up comedy, I'll be here or whatever. But he doesn't really do promotions like that. He don't really sit there in front of a camera unless he's on stage. Like we're just now seeing him do these type of interviews in recent years. Like he's not one of those comedians that goes on the radio and tells, hey, I'm going to be here for a week. You guys come out, support, come get your tickets or whatever. He's not one of those type of comedians. He's not one of those type of people. But when he did do these interviews, every single last one of the people that have interviewed him have just continued to bring up how much he is looking out and helping people and don't say ish about it. And even when they asked him about it, he was still kind of like blowing it off like, you know, I've never known the Amigos to be in, you know, where they needed money or anything like that. But if they do or if they did, then yeah, I would definitely help them. So he's not even owning it. You got to salute that brother for that, man. The difference is, and I'm not saying that Kevin doesn't do this, but Katt is just a different type of person, man. Different type of person, different type of comedian.
Knows that now are. I've used my platform and I brought my guys and girls up. The brand of Kevin Hart is a brand that's expanded so far with you.
And I'm not saying that Kevin Hart has not done this. Like, you know, again, I'm not saying he's not done this. He has done this. We have seen it. He has talked about it as he is doing right now. He's talked about it. He spoke about it, whatever. But that's the difference between him and Katt. Katt don't do things, and I'm not saying that Kevin is doing it for you know the likes and the comments and the views and the clout or anything like that. But again, that's just a difference. Katt don't really speak about that stuff at all. It seems like he prefers just to keep that type of stuff under wraps, man. And you got to give it to the brother for doing that. Like, you don't meet people like that. You don't hear about people doing stuff like that. Most of the time when somebody does something, camera's going to be involved. They're going to bring it up 2 or 3 times. Like, you're going to continue to hear about it and it's going to be coming from them. But again, Katt is just a different type of guy.
Like me or not, my presence of comedy will forever be felt.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Katt Williams bought the Knicks.
He definitely bought it.
So this was childish of Kevin Hart, man. Like right here. I don't think that anything that Katt did or said was him being, I'm just gonna say this childish. Like this is just him being extra. I understand you're a comedian, but come on, fam. Like to bring this dude up, I don't know how many times in one game. Like, leave it alone. That just goes to show you when you're in your feelings, man. Like, get out your feelings.
And it's rumored that he took the Knicks back.
He made the team.
He played.
Oh, he played.
He played with the Knicks. He played with them.
We know he's fast. They say he's fast.
Yeah,
He runs
one of the fastest.
3.9. He figured out how to play basketball from reading all them books.
3,000 of them.
3,000 a year.
A year.
And that's 2 a day. That's 6 years old. That's 2 a day. Hey.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. 6 years old, 6.
Smartest kid to ever do it. They kept it a secret for 48 years.
But like that, like after that, like that was a decent joke. Okay, let's move on, bro. Let's move on.
The secret. It just dropped off. Another known fact: Katt dropped him off.
Oh wow! Katt just dropped him.
He gave him a ride.
Okay.
Known fact: Katt Williams has a NBA basketball court in his living room. He's the first to embrace a true hardwood floor.
Yeah. We played against that little boy that put him on the ground.
Another known
By
fact.
the way, it's a known fact that Katt Williams do not breathe oxygen, so it didn't bother him.
Yeah.
Oh, copy that. You can't choke him out.
Yeah,
That's
you
a known
can't.
fact.
Everybody knows that.
He's 92-6 in one-on-one.
LA. I've been doing shit. I was on That's So Raven. I was on all this shit.
Now this is Tiffany Haddish on stage doing her stand-up. All right, it looked like it's improv or whatever, and she's responding to Katt Williams. All right, and this is a part of her stand-up, man. Hey, I ain't taking away from anybody getting their bag. Salute to her, man. Everybody has an audience. I don't care what you do, what you look like, if you're funny, if you're not, or whatever. Everybody has an audience, and hey, you get on, you run with that mother lover. I don't care who you are.
I did extra work. I was on all of the white people TV shows, the black people TV shows.
Now I'm tripping on how she said I did everything. She named That's So Raven, and I think she named the other show, and that was it.
Used to be on Dance 360. I've been out here. I've been telling jokes since 1996. 1996. This said, oh, they wouldn't let her perform in the Comedy Store. That's true. They wouldn't let me perform on the white nights in the Comedy Store, but I performed on all the black nights. They wouldn't let me perform on the white nights at the Improv, but I performed on all the black and Latino nights.
She said, I'm not mad. I just wish he would get his facts right about me. Dang, I guess I will send him a reminder text. But are we sure that this is...
I'm curious, what facts did he get wrong? I'm not saying that he's right or wrong or she's right or wrong, but I'm curious what she meant by that. Because he said a lot.
Katt Williams, he looks a lot like Charleston White.
Hey, that nigga Ludacris.
I didn't even realize that I put the Charleston White clip right after this. Y'all think he look like Charleston White?
Then responded to Katt Williams with a rap song.
Whatever's heavy on my heart is always on my mind. Like Snoop's cannabis shredder, I'm always on my grind. They throwing shade because niggas can never take my shine. I bring my watch collection on my jet. Let me take my time. Like fine wine, I'm aging like Benjamin. Top 5, I'm worth mentioning. Bring me rappers, I'm lynching them. See the pendulum swing, Jesus with diamond thorns. Ludacris, swaddled in Gucci linens when I was born. Never been Illuminati, only Illuminati. And I only left with bitches when coming from any party. Now I'm married with kids, the evolution of life. Never been a cloud chaser, never say shit for life. R.I.P. John Singleton. You never have to flex when you earn every one of your Fast and Furious checks. Afro with the sideburns, yeah, that's my signature. Addiction's on the rise, comedians check your temperature.
Addiction on the rise, comedians check your temperature. I mean, the flow was dope. I just didn't understand the last part. I feel like I feel like that last part could have been a little bit more meaningful. You know what I'm saying? A little bit harder, like a slap in the face or a kick in the chest. I didn't feel that.
That was the weirdest shit out of all of them. Man, hey, listen, that was the craziest shit. That's what everybody overlooking the fact that Ludacris, he responded with a rap song. That lets you know how fucked up this shit is. If you say I've been at a gay party getting fine, I ain't finna make you no song. I'm finna call you a motherfucking lie. I'm gonna call you on your phone, you lying. You ain't seen me in no mother. That made a rap. That responded with a jingle. Say, that lets you know he guilty. Come back with a rap song. A hell of a rap song. They rapped 20-some years. They made a rap song in 20 years. Soon as Katt Williams say, hey, I seen you coming out that funny room though. With walking bow-legged, you were not needed before you went in. Your thighs were rubbed together. You come out of that bow-legged. That boy say now he gonna make a song. I ain't never was on my mind. They made a commercial jingle to respond to Katt Williams instead of saying you a goddamn lie. That's how you call. That's how you tell he lying. You know, go write no 116 bar for no nigga. You get on the airwaves and say he lying, baby. Ain't never seen me coming out there and play walking bow-legged. Say, boy. Hey, bro. Say, the thing because ain't nobody came out and called him a motherfucking lie. Trick Daddy.
Facts. That's honestly what I've been waiting for. Everybody that, you know what I'm saying, has what's the name? Not one of them said that he was freaking lying. Not one.
Only one say I kick your ass. I'm a stripper. Rest of them they've been talking circles. That's why I told you I only want 5 million. And I don't want to make too many white friends, because that shit come from making white friends. Yeah. Quincy Jones them was the last, Dr. Dre them and did it. They the last nigga beefing them boys. Rest of that shit come from them white folks. Want to be on them white folks stages. I'm gonna keep getting hit in the head with.
We're talking about the are you familiar with the Katt Williams thing? What's been going on with Katt Williams? Yeah. So these are the people that responded to what he's been saying. So the first one was Cedric the Entertainer. So Cedric the Entertainer basically said that he didn't steal Katt Williams' joke. Do you remember that joke that he did at the end when he was basically trying to make it seem like the space shuttle was like a Cadillac?
Who, Katt Williams?
No, Cedric the Entertainer. Like, man, we'll be at the end of that doggone thing. I can show you what it looks like. But yeah, so that was the very first person that popped up. The next person, and I don't know what order this in, y'all, correct me if I'm wrong, but was Kevin Hart. You know, he said basically Kevin Hart is pretty much the guy that filled in, you know, because of he didn't accept those roles that had like
I've seen that part.
Yeah. So, and I mean, honestly, that it kind of feels that way because Katt Williams already said a million times he ain't putting on no damn dress and he's not acting gay for nobody, for no amount of money, for no reason. And so now we on Charleston White and Ludacris. So Ludacris, he said, Katt Williams said that Ludacris and him was invited or something like that on the to like an Illuminati party. And only one person could come. And Katt Williams basically said that he turned it down because he didn't give a damn about any money or anything like that. And he was saying one of the requirements was Ludacris had to cut his hair, cut his sideburns, and become, and you know what all of that stuff entail. And so Ludacris responded with a jingle or whatever. And now we're on the Charleston White basically just laughing at it. Like they responded with a jingle, man. You don't get in, 16 bars. What you should have did is got on there and told him that he a motherfucking lie. Don't be making no jingle.
Going at the barbershop and throwing flower pots. This is much safer than getting your shit around. Fuck around, find out got a big and all the white boy got to suck it. Did you want to be in the movie, don't you, Charles? Yeah, I heard you got a lumberjack.
A lumberjack.
Who told you that? Harry. Who told Harry? Puffy. Who told Puffy? Usher. Who told Usher? Somebody.
Internet. Y'all, I had to cut the live after this because he started saying stuff because I actually blocked out probably within that short amount of time, about maybe 15, 20 seconds, I had to block out like 18 different curse words. So after he got to that point, I just went ahead and just cut the live. You're more than welcome to go check out his entire live on Instagram, though, if you want to. So now this is Ricky Smiley. So him and Ricky Smiley and Kevin Hart seem like they have kind of like been beefing the most. Like he had the most to say when it came to him and Kevin Hart's beef and him and Ricky Smiley. Really a lot about Ricky Smiley. So Ricky Smiley actually took a lot of time with this. And Ricky Smiley had originally auditioned for the role of Money Mike. But Katt Williams ended up getting the role. And so they basically gave the Santa Claus role to Ricky Smiley. And Ricky Smiley is going to give that whole little breakdown. But Katt Williams was saying that Ricky Smiley was basically moping and complaining and crying the entire time on set because he had to be the crackhead and he wanted to be the pimp.
That going crazy comments that Katt Williams made. But if I can't speak on behalf of the other comedians, but the only thing I can speak for is myself. Katt made some comments on Shane.
I hate to pause it again, but I think that Ricky Smiley actually handled it better than anybody else. Like this right here, he handled it better than anybody else.
About when I was on Shannon Sharp was telling him the story of some of the behind the scenes from Friday After Next. Let's start with that. When I went out there, let's just go back. In 2000, I was the host of BET Comic View, and in the season 2004. I also worked on this show called Live from LA. That was my first job with BET, and that's where I met Ice Cube. If I'm not mistaken, and Ice Cube was like, "Man, hey man, I like your work. I want to do some stuff with you. I want to put you in some movies." And Ice Cube started putting me in movies, which really helped my career. I was in All About the Benjamins, but of course, when they changed the ending of it, that part didn't make any sense. But then he put me in Friday After Next. And just for clarification, I went out to audition for Friday After Next as Monday.
Hold on, wait a minute. Before you get into that, I was like, hold on. Now, I'm a huge fan of All About the Benjamins. Like, I done seen pretty much all of Ice Cube's movies. And when he said, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I don't remember Ricky Smiley being in no damn All About the Benjamins. And then I kept listening. I guess they cut that part out.
Money Mike, not the Santa Claus. And that is the honest God truth. I had no reason to go on there and to go on Shannon Sharp show and lie about any of that. That's what I auditioned for. Was Money Mike, and I guess the producers, Cube, and everybody saw something different. And I think that Money Mike character, Special K, was going to come off as kind of like
just a guy who was hanging around in the strip mall who was just kind of being annoying and almost like a crackhead type of character. That was
right.
Just,
so I guess when Katt Williams did it, they added the whole pimp twist to that character, which was actually a better decision and made it funnier, because ain't no way in the hell I could have executed that role like that. And
so now, from what I'm listening, but he said that it was supposed to be more of a crackhead type of role, but Katt Williams came in and switched it up and changed it more into a pimp role. He did that. So that's the reason why that role was so freaking iconic, is because he came in and he changed it around. And the directors and stuff, they just let him go with it, because I mean it was golden.
I'm glad that they made that decision and they put me in a Santa Claus role, which was actually perfect. So when I got back to LA, they said, "Hey, your role has changed. You're gonna be the Santa Claus, and here's the Santa Claus suit. Put it on, and here's your lines." Sat in the trailer, went over the lines, went over my stuff with Cube, and the rest is history. Had no reason. I just want to clarify that. Had no reason to lie about that. As a matter of fact, my manager at the time, Gary Abdo, who is still one of my best friends, who also helped start my career, and he's the owner of the Atlanta Comedy Theater in Atlanta. We got him on the phone. Just to clarify, Gary Abdo, good morning.
Good morning, Ricky. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm good, man. Just for clarification, you was my manager at the time. We went to LA together for the audition. Cube wanted to see us. What is your version?
I'm tripping on, man. They can't get him no better headphones, man. He keep trying to adjust these things and whatnot. Charlemagne, they got the new beats. Why he got to have these little Walmart some $2 headphones, man? They ought to be ashamed of themselves. I know he done made them plenty of money.
Yeah, well, we're old, and that was 23 years ago. So, our memories are what our memories are. You went out, you auditioned, they wanted you to play Money Mike. That was the sides that they had sent. The sides are the portion of the script for the part they want you to play. Those were the sides they sent. That was the audition you did. They said, "Great, we want you to play this role." My recollection is you had to go back and read for the execs from the studio one final time. And the night before that, we got different sides, and they said, "No, we want you to play this role." And we didn't understand it. We really were under the impression, well, you had the role as Money Mike, but then all of a sudden they switched it up. Now we understand why. Katt came in, blew them away. He's an incredible performer. That was probably one of the most iconic breakout parts in movie history. I mean, that was literally Katt's first movie. Friday was not Chris Tucker's first movie. Next Friday was not Mike Epps' first movie. For that to have been Katt Williams' first movie, and he exploded. I mean, that literally made him an iconic touring comedian, one of the biggest to do it in this generation. And, the rest, as they say, was history.
Whose side you on, brother? Come on now, I got you on my show. No,
but yeah, absolutely, without a doubt.
Just being honest,
you were auditioning for Money Mike. We were told you had the role, and then that switched up overnight.
And I'm glad I ended up doing being the Santa Claus, because that role was iconic and not as funny as his. I like the pimp. I personally like the pimp better, but the Santa Claus role was just perfect for me. At the time, I was skinny and could run fast. So
and you could squeeze over that gate. So yeah, that was the.
I just wanted to clarify that. And then there was no contract ever that in agreement with the first Sunday movie, because that was a whole.
Yeah, so Katt Williams was saying, after that, all of that stuff happened, he was saying that he didn't agree to work with or around Ricky Smiley in a movie or whatever, a TV show, unless Ricky Smiley had to put on a dress. That was like that was in his contract. The only way I'll work with, which I don't know how true that is. It don't really sound like, again, after your very first movie, you got that kind of pull to make somebody else be there. I don't know.
Whole different production, directed by who just directed my Netflix special, David E. Talbert, about me playing Bernice Jenkins. That's something that David called me personally. David and Lynn are fans and have been fans of my work for a long time. And it was like, we want you to play Bernice Jenkins, and and here you go. And that's what happened. And I went out there and shot that in one day, me and Red Grant. And that was a lot of fun. Right. And it had nothing to do with Katt Williams' contract or whatever. So I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, I respect Katt. Definitely disappointed that you have to get on the air and explain something like this. But that's the truth. And I don't know what else to say. So there it is.
There's not much else to say. It's indisputable that Katt played that role, killed it, built an entire career out of that one role that all of us look at and go, wow, that's absolutely amazing. But it's also indisputable. You were auditioning for Money Mike. We were told you had the role. You just had to read one more time, and then that switched up.
And the crazy thing about it is we had a conversation when it came out. He said a lot of this 12 years ago, and we had a conversation because I was on 14th Street in Atlanta, right by the Four Seasons Hotel, and I was driving down the street with my granddad in the car, and I saw Katt Williams going across the street on 14th Street, and I said, Katt, what's up? Whatever. I just wanted to make sure we was good. He said, come over and have a cup of coffee with me, because he was walking over to Starbucks, and I went over and he went in there and got the coffee. We was chopping it up or whatever. Just didn't even really talk about the issue or whatever. I said, hey man, I want you to come out and say hello to my granddad. My granddad is a fan. He came out to the truck. I'll never forget, I was in my Ford F-150 and I came out and spoke to my granddad. He hugged my granddad and wished him well. My granddad was like, keep doing what you're doing, young man. My granddad was living at the time. It was just me and my granddaddy in the truck. And we dapped it up, and that was it. I mean, that was it. And I thought that
yeah, that'd be so crazy though, man. You're familiar with 14th Street in Atlanta, right? So, but just to see two comedians together, just chilling, hanging out, man, that would be dope. That's dope, man. So he was just chilling in his Ford F-150 truck.
We were good. I didn't know that we had any issues, and if there are any issues or if there's anything that I've done, not only to Katt Williams, to anybody, I apologize, and I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, but I did. That's just the honest to God truth. And I did audition for what I auditioned for. And I'm glad that the producers made that decision. And let me address all of the things with Gary. You can help me out with this, because, comedy greats like Flip Wilson played Geraldine. Richard Pryor played some roles on his show. Jamie Foxx played Wanda. Martin played Shanae. I did Bernice Jenkins. Tyler Perry did Madea. There's a lot of comics and a lot of comedy greats that did characters for the sake of funny, for entertainment, for the sake of the laugh. And it has nothing to do with nobody's comfortable in the role. Nobody wants to put on a damn dress or comfortable in it. That has nothing to do with my manhood being lessened for trying to play a role and trying to put food on the table for my family. Because
it's a prop. It's nothing more than a prop. It's nothing more than a way to get a laugh. I mean, back in Shakespeare's time, there were no females playing females' role. Every female role was played by a man. It's just part of it's part of an art form. It's part of what makes it funny. You bring the funny to it. I wish that I'm sure you remember. People don't know about this. The pilot that you shot for the Kings of Comedy TV show, Bernice Jenkins had a whole sketch with Madea.
Yeah, I did a sketch with Madea, me, Earthquake, Tyler Perry, Niecy Nash. We did a thing called The Pew. It's supposed to be like The View, but it was a church-based version of The View, and it was just comedy great to see Bernice Jenkins, the character, and Madea. And I started off doing Bernice Jenkins doing prank phone calls on the Buck Wild Morning Show in Birmingham, which spinned into, hey, I think you should do a.
Now I'm gonna tell you, if y'all have never gotten a chance to listen to this dude do a prank phone call, especially with that old lady voice, you need to go check it out. That thing was hilarious. Now, even though I don't agree with any man putting on a dress for any reason, rocking a wig or whatever, you know, when he talk about putting food on the table and stuff like that, I ain't gonna say I respect it. I can somewhat understand. All right. But yeah.
Character, this would be a great character for this role. So we were all in our 30s, late 20s, doing what we had to do in order to be successful. Now that we are older, I'm comfortable in my job in radio. I'm comfortable in you know, the roles that I get and the things that I get to do. And I just finished a phenomenal comedy special. So the statement about Ricky Smiley is not funny. I've been sold out since 97.
That part.
Every single show I have done since 97, maybe not big arenas, but I pack up those theaters and
now just butt in real quick. I don't think, did Katt Williams ever say that Ricky Smiley wasn't funny? I think when he was mentioning Ricky Smiley, he was saying something about, you know, him every time he's in a movie or in anything, it's with him wearing a dress. It's not like him actually being a man and being funny, like in a movie. And I think he said the exact same thing about Tyler Perry, because if you were to tell those same exact jokes and whatever as a man, it wouldn't be as funny.
And have to add shows and comedy clubs, and between radio and all of that and raising a family, I'm comfortable with. What makes me sad, I don't like the way that made my kids feel, and that's why I'm not gonna, you know, go after him, because he has kids and family members and nieces and nephews also, and it hurts our family members and people that do love us when we say hurtful things about each other. So we want to wish Katt Williams the best or whatever. It ain't nothing but love over here just because we don't agree. Arnez J and I had beef for about 20 years, and I end up sitting next to him on a plane. And when I saw him, I couldn't do nothing but grab him and hug him. And we text each other all day on Christmas Day. It feel like we trying to make up for lost time. Two talented people that actually love each other. And Special K, Katt Williams got some comedy dates coming up. He's going to be in Birmingham. Katt Williams is coming to Huntsville. I want y'all to go out and support him. I want y'all to pack those damn theaters and show nothing but unconditional love to him and to any comic that come into our space. You know, Birmingham, Huntsville, that's like my area or whatever, where I grew up or whatever. K, you got the dates?
Yeah, you got January 12th, Cedar Park, Texas. The 14th, Estero, Florida. The 19th, Huntsville, Alabama. The 26th of January, Tupelo, Mississippi. Y'all go ahead and get on Ticketmaster.
Yeah, make sure y'all go out and see Katt Williams and go out and support him, man. It's all love over here because it's enough money out here for everybody. So what we're addressing for everybody that's tuning in, we're just addressing the whole Katt Williams situation, and I'm gonna leave it at that, man. Because here's the thing: what we all need to understand. Here's what we all need to understand.
Like 3 hours.
You know where you've been, but you don't know where you're going, and you don't know who you're gonna need. And I promise to God, if there's anything that he or anybody in his family on his staff ever need, we'll be there. You know, because I stick up for comics, and we all are not perfect, and we all don't get along all the time. Yeah, we all have issues, but at the same time, we are all in the same game. I don't agree with all the cues all the time. I go to the conclave and go through different stuff with the bros or whatever. But at the end of the day, Omega Psi Phi, this friendship is essential to the soul.
Look, okay, first I went on Facebook. I typed my name in. They were like, you cannot use celebrity names. I was like, word. So then I see a fake Dave Chappelle on Facebook. I go on.
So now this is Dave Chappelle. This is Dave Chappelle basically talking about when he ran into Katt Williams.
We are all in the same game. I don't agree with all the cues all the time. I go to the conclave and go through different stuff with the bros or whatever. But at the end of the day, Omega Psi Phi, this friendship is essential to the soul.
Look, okay, first I went on Facebook. I typed my name in. They were like, you cannot use celebrity names. I was like, word. So then I see a fake Dave Chappelle on Facebook. I go on Twitter, and the same thing. It's like, oh, it's a fake Dave Chappelle. My name, my picture was not me. No. So I started following the guy. And it turned out, Jimmy, the guy was like hilarious. Girls were tweeting him all these sexy messages. I'm like, hey, who is this guy? And then, like a week or two into it, he just turns evil and starts like a whole Twitter beef with this guy, Katt Williams. You know, Katt. Absolutely. Katt Williams starts saying things to this fake Dave Chappelle that's hurting the real Dave Chappelle's feelings. I go to the comedy show, I go over to Katt, and I'm like, yo, Katt, man, you know, I gotta talk to you. I don't have a Twitter page. And he's like, so what, Dave Chappelle? I don't have a Twitter page either.
It was a fake. So basically, the evil Dave Chappelle that Dave Chappelle was looking at on Twitter, you know, the fake page, he had started out because he was just funny. He was just being funny on Twitter or whatever. So Dave Chappelle goes to his goes and checks out his material, whatever. And it's actually pretty funny. And then after a week or two, that funny fake Dave Chappelle started being mean and just started going ham with everybody. And he started some Twitter beef with Katt Williams. And basically Katt Williams was saying hurtful things to the fake Dave Chappelle, where he was hurting the real Dave Chappelle's feelings. So Dave ended up going to one of his comedy shows just to let him know, hey, I don't have Twitter. And so Katt Williams was like, I don't have Twitter either. So basically it was another fake page just kind of going with each other. I thought that was pretty funny. So this is Michael Blackson.
Katt, I said Katt is one of the most lovable comedians in the world. And what I meant to say on the interview was, I meant to say, I don't give a how much crack I think that he smoke. He's the most lovable. But instead I said, I don't care how much crack he smoked. And I've never seen Katt smoke no crack. You know, but I was hoping he wasn't going to take it personal, because even Noriega hit me up after that whole thing came out about me mentioning Katt. And he didn't even remember, like, he said, when did this happen? Because I mentioned I was on Drink Champ and I'm this interview, and he hit me up like, he DM'd me like, hey, Mike, what did you say on there that I missed? That's how much of a love, that's how you know I wasn't even insulting this guy. It was more giving him his props.
Katt Williams was talking about himself once. And Katt Williams is a crazy person, but a brilliant comedian. And he said something that I have always thought. And he's like, I'm not a fan of me. And he goes like, I don't particularly like me. You know, it's like, that is why he's great, because that makes you work so hard at, like, the worst thing a comedian can be in the beginning is sure of themselves and then incompetent at the same time. It's horrible. It's horrible because you're not good, but you think you're amazing.
Ice Cube, just wanted to address a few things. You know, everybody been.
All right, so this is Ice Cube addressing the things that Katt Williams was saying. I think this is actually really, really big, because he said a few things about the role that Money Mike was supposed to play in the movie. And one of the things that they had to change in order for him to play that role was that Money Mike was not gonna, because Money Mike was technically or allegedly supposed to get raped in the bathroom. But he said, listen, again, I'm not doing none of that doggone mess. If you want me to play this role, then this is how things are gonna go. So Ice Cube is now about to speak on that.
Checking out the internet. My man Katt Williams.
You can tell him the interviews, right?
You know, first of all, I just want to say, you know, we shot that movie over 20 years ago. So, you know, people have different perspectives, and it's been a long time. I also want to say, you know, every comedian that I've worked with, every comedian that I've put in a movie, I only put them in the movie because I thought they was funny. I thought they was perfect for the part. I tried to put them in a position to win. That's what it's all about, you know. I don't, you know, I look at from, you know, Chris Tucker and Bernie Mac and Mike Epps, Katt Williams, you know, Ricky Smiley, Michael Blackson, Cedric, Kevin Hart. You know, all these guys I know are funny as hell. You know, I didn't discover them. You know, they were doing their stand up or doing their thing, and I knew that they were great and that they could act, and that you know, if I have an opportunity, I was going to give them an opportunity. You know, to me, that's what it's all about. You know, as far as, you know, specific things, you know, Katt was 100 on a few things. Most of what he was saying, a couple things, you know, I just want to clarify. When we bring in a new, you know, comedian, we do have them try out for different roles. So Ricky did give Money Mike a shot. But when we saw him and, you know, we kind of saw how he moved and how he was, you know, auditioning, we decided that he would be a better, you know, Santa Claus, which was, to me, the perfect casting. When we saw Mike, damn, I call him Money Mike. When we saw Katt, you know, when I saw him, I just knew that he was perfect for Money Mike. And, you know, Katt, you know, said he wrote his role, which, I mean, the role was written, but he enhanced it. This is why Katt was so dope in the movie. You know, Money Mike had a small role, you know, about as big as the Santa Claus role, but when we start filming, he was giving us such magic that we kept expanding his role, giving him more to do because he was on point. You know, when we shoot these movies, you know, for one, the scripts are fire, or they wouldn't even do it. The scripts are laugh out funny. But we shoot the script, but once we get what we need from the script, we let the comedians ad-lib, riff, you know, play with the words, do their thing. You know, we give them a take where they can, or 2, 3 takes where they can go off and do what they feel. You know, sometimes it makes the movie, sometimes it don't. You know, when somebody gives you jewels, you want to try to make sure that makes the movie. So in the movie, there's second thing I want to clear up. It was never, I would never shoot a rape scene in a movie, especially like Friday, where you actually see this happening on camera. That ain't my style. If you check out any of my movies,
I agree with Ice Cube. You know what I mean? That's never been something that I would think that he would put in a movie. But again, man, if they in Hollywood, you know, especially if you got backers, people that throwing that money out there, who's to say that they wasn't trying to change it? So I don't know, man. 2 things can be true at one time.
They not raunchy. You know, we did a movie called Players Club where the subject matter was a little raunchy, but for the most part, even that, we left it to your imagination. So the only reason that kind of stuff is in the movie is because you have 3 villains in Friday After Next. You have Santa Claus stealing presents. You have Damon, just got out of prison, sweating. Craig and Day for the rent money. And then you have Money Mike, you know, a pimp that treats his woman, you know, like a property. So Craig is always fighting the villains in the movie, you know, from the Joker Brothers to Debo. And so we already had Craig fighting Santa Claus. And the only real way to get rid of the other 2 villains was to have them go against each other. And the plier joke was always in the script, you know, it was never we would never ever show that. You know, that's not my style. If you look at any of my movies, so you know that was never a discussion. You know, we, you know, at that point in everybody's career, you know, we would listen to a certain extent, but we wasn't gonna change the movie for any actor. You know, we do what we feel, and if it was a rape scene, it would have been in the movie. There was no reason not to shoot it. But that's not my style. I don't even like that kind of shit in movies, on camera. And so, you know, that was, to me, a little discrepancy there. You know, Katt, he wrote a lot of his part because, you know, like I said, he was giving us jewels, so we were keeping the camera rolling. He was coming off the dome. He was coming prepared every day to steal the show. You know, that was his mission. And, you know, that's what he did, you know, with the movie. And it launched his career, you know. And I'm proud of the movie. I'm proud of all the guys who've, you know, come through, you know, a Q Vision production and went on to do bigger and better things. And look, you know, a lot of people are talking about pay and how much they was paid on these movies that were extremely low budget. You know, most of these guys worked a couple of days, you know. And when you're doing a movie, there's over 100 people working on the movie that need to get paid. Most of them got to get paid every day. And there's pre-production and post-production. Even after you finish with the actors, you got to pay editors and sound people. And my movies are all about quality. So most of the money go up on the screen. I'm not giving you no bullshit. I'm not giving you no low budget, you know, shit you can laugh at because it's so cheap. So, you know, we try to put all the money on the screen. And so any actor that's mad at what they got paid, you know, just look at what you was doing. Look at where your career was at the time. You know, take a look at where it is now. And Friday has something to do with that, I believe. And I put a lot of people in movies, but they ain't never put me in a movie. So you could take that for what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? I've given a lot of these guys opportunities. And I still act, so I'm waiting for a call. I ain't got to produce everything or write everything. I got love for all the comedians that I've worked with. Got, you know, much love for Katt. You know, he spoke up for me a lot. And I just wanted to be clear and clarify some things. And shit, man. I hope y'all have a good 2024. Yeah.
Katt Williams went on Shannon Sharp's podcast, Club Shay Shay, and nobody was safe, brother. Nobody. Here's my thing. Katt talked about Cedric the Entertainer. He talked about D.L. Hughley, and good and bad. I'm not just saying this isn't all bad. He talked about Mark Curry, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley. My name came up. Tiffany.
Wait, what? He said something about Gary? I don't remember him saying anything about Gary. But this is Gary Owens, y'all, for those that don't know. And his video is actually trending.
Haddish, Wanda Smith. Let me think. Am I forgetting? Let me see. He started off. The thing is, he comes in guns a-blazing. It's not even like a feeling out portion of the show. Katt just came in and immediately went in on Ricky. It all started with Friday. And as I'm watching it, and here's the thing about Katt. We all got opinions on comedians, and Katt doesn't hold his opinion back. I do. I'll be honest with you. There's some comedians I find funny, some I find hacky. I don't feel the need to air it to the masses. I'll keep that to myself because I like to be Switzerland in all this. I like to be Kevin Hart got it with. I remember when Chris Brown.
That's the reason why that video that's almost 3 hours long got 30 million views right now.
Brown and Drake had the beef, right? Later on, they came together, they did a song, did a music video together. And I remember Kevin was cool with both. Kevin was cool with Chris, and he was cool with Drake, like really cool with both. And I was thinking, how's Kevin going to navigate this? Because some people, man, when you got beef, they're like, either you're with me or against me. And I'm more Switzerland. I tend to try to get along with everybody. You never know when work's going to come your way. Somebody might have a project. They're thinking of you. So I kind of keep, if I have anything negative, just out and out negative for no reason, unsolicited, I tend to keep it to myself. Now, if you talk shit about me or.
But listen, I don't think this was like a negative thing. Seriously, like listening to what he had to say, it was like he was just dropping gem after gem after gem. Do I think that he disliked anybody that he was talking about? I don't think so. I really honestly don't think so. Now, do I think that he agrees with how people go about doing things? You know, as far as men wearing dresses, he speaks against this so freaking much. So I don't think he has a problem with these people, it's their actions. Because when somebody out there, comedian or whatever, somebody trying to get their foot in the door, when you start accepting roles that he always talk about, you know, a man in a dress, then they're gonna continue to make parts like that. But if people just stop accepting that and stop taking those roles, they're gonna pretty much just do away with those type of characters. But the more you got these money hungry people continue to do anything for freaking money, there's always gonna be a space for it. And so I think personally, that's the reason why he's had so much beef with that. Not the people, but the action.
Or the Monique situation years ago when she compared Will Packer to Harvey Weinstein. I spoke up on that because Will's my friend. He's put me in 3 movies, produced one of my comedy specials, and I was just like, you know, I don't know your beef with Tyler. I don't know your beef with Oprah. That has nothing to do with me. But you spoke on my friend. You compared him to, you know, a sexual predator, and I didn't like it. So I just spoke up. And that was kind of out of character of me. But I'm not going to say I'm never going to speak up. I'm going to stand up for myself if you're talking shit about me. But as far as like just unsolicited going in on people, that's just not me. Katt's different. You ask Katt a question, he's going to give you his answer unfiltered, unsolicited. And it, you know, you could get mad about it, or you'd be like, that's really how he feels. But regardless whether you agree.
But again, that's him being, I think, you know, there is definitely a way on how you say things. And I think personally, that's just him being honest. You know, he wasn't cursing these people out, you know, or anything like that. He just spoke his mind. And again, it wasn't anything extra being added to it. It just felt like, yo, I'm just gonna give it to you raw, uncut, but it's not gonna be anything added to it. I think when people go above and beyond and they start to do extra and start to put extra stuff on it, that's when, you know, you got some ill intent and you probably got some beef towards that person and not necessarily the action. But again, if it's just the action, then I'm just going to speak on it. I'm just going to let it be what it be.
Or you disagree with what Katt is saying on Shannon Sharp's podcast, you're watching. It's getting everybody's attention because people are commenting on it. He went in on Faizon, who's my boy. I love Faizon. But
no, I'm just now. Let me start to put these comments up. No. Heck no. And do I think that Steve Harvey is going to respond? No. Let me tell you something. Honestly, anybody that has responded, they have been torn to freaking shreds. Like, first, I'm gonna say anybody, unless you handle things the right way. I believe the person that handled things the best way by far was Ricky Smiley. Ricky Smiley basically just said, I'm going to speak my piece on this. I'm not going to say anything negative about that brother. I'm not going to say that he's lying or anything. I'm just going to tell you guys exactly like my side of the story, and I'm not going to add anything extra. Now, we've seen when people tried to respond. You had Cedric the Entertainer. He tried to respond. And as soon as he responded, some reason, that thing started to resurface about that Katt Williams joke versus his joke, and it made him look even worse because somebody put that thing side by side, and when I tell you, it seemed like, it honestly seemed like he took that thing, I mean, almost like word for freaking word, man. I was like, yo, this is freaking insane. And then Luda, bruh, Luda really made himself look bad. He responded with a damn, like Charleston White said, he responded with a jingle, man. Like, what are you doing, fam? Just you shouldn't have responded at all. He responded with what rapping. I don't think this now's not the time, brother. This is not no dang on rap battle. Let's see. I agree about Ricky Smiley and Ice Cube. Yeah, and I would agree. Ice Cube as well. Ice Cube handled things pretty well as well. But he didn't have anything negative to say about Ice Cube, though. He was pretty much, you know what I'm saying, just saying that people was basically, they had beef with Ice Cube because of what he was paying the workers. But like Ice Cube just said, man, this was a doggone low budget film. All the money was put on the doggone film. You know what I mean? Like, this would be the perfect opportunity to do exactly what Katt did. Like, show up, you know, make sure you research the character and just give it your all. And when that thing go up on screen, blow the people away, and that's going to help your career. These Friday movies was basically a stepping stone to get to where you need to be. Look at Chris Tucker, that first Friday. He didn't have to be in another Mother Loving Friday. He went to start doing, you know, rush hour movies and stuff like that, getting them big checks. I think he got paid like $5,000 for that role, if that. And who's to say how much that last check from Rush Hour was? Like, come on, fam. But a lot of people don't look at it like that, man. That's fine. We're respectful. And Mike Epps. Oh, now I didn't see Mike Epps. I might have to pull that up after this one because I haven't seen Mike Epps' responses yet.
Then Faizon started making posts on Instagram that I'm laughing at. So at the same time, I'm looking at Katt going, oh, I'm looking at Faizon going, oh, now if I see Katt, I'm still gonna be cool with Katt. Katt's always been cool with me. He's done some cool things for me in my life. Faizon, still gonna be cool with Faizon. That's my boy. And even then, I could talk to Katt about Faizon and not have to go in on Faizon. I could talk to Faizon about Katt and not feel like I have to you know, piggyback it and go in on Katt. I just sit and listen and laugh at it all. Because if you're a comedian and you're a true stand-up comedian, we're offense proof. We cannot be offended by anything. We can catch strays, we can catch arrows like everybody else. And we always say, like, just be honest. Don't say something behind my back. Whether you like Katt or not, he's not going to talk behind your back. However he feels about you, that's how he feels about you. Now, he did say one thing. He talked about Ricky Smiley, and he talked about when Ricky Smiley went on Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp's podcast, which is a great podcast, especially for, I know I'm a white guy, but for my demographics, and I'll get into that in a minute, what Katt said about me, but for my demographics, you know, Club Shay Shay, I'd rather go on Club Shay Shay than Joe Rogan. Even though, okay, I got to get into, I got to unpack this podcast because Katt made a comment where he said, why you think Gary Owen, who's a white guy, has been doing stand-up for 25 years, hasn't crossed over? And when he said it, I was like, wait a minute, was that?
Oh, I missed that. I honestly, I didn't hear that. I was driving while I was listening to this, so.
A good thing or bad thing? And I literally had to go to Twitter and start asking people, was I catching strays or what was that? And they're like, no, they were saying you haven't sold your soul. That's why you haven't crossed over. You've been consistently you, and that's why you haven't, quote unquote, crossed over. So I was like, oh, okay, that made sense. Now, I'm not gonna get into it, but I've been I was in an awkward situation one time where I can't say for 100% this person was trying to make me do something, casting couch type deal, but it felt like it. And I was like, is this that point where I've always heard, would you suck a dick for $1 million? And I was thinking to myself, and I was in this office in this room going, well, this is I'm about to answer this question. And the answer was no, I wouldn't. So now I listen, I can't say for 100% that's where it was going, but it felt like it. It felt like it. You got to be in the room to feel it. And I was like, oh, this dude is really coming on to me. Like, this is happening in real life.
That's
the dude did it, and it always remain nameless. I think he was feeling me out. Like, is this dude? And this was years ago. I was young in the game, but I was just like, wait a minute, is this happening right now? I was like, oh my god. And then I was like, I made sure I made it very clear I like women. I'm not going that route. Blah, blah, blah. So I'm not gonna get into it. But I was wondering, was like, "Ooh, is this happening to me right now in real life?"
Hey, you better be careful, man. You got to be careful when you start to talk about stuff like that on camera, stuff that you ain't never talked about, man. That's man. Let me tell you something. I have never and never will want to be in Hollywood and stuff like that, man. Especially when, listen, you can put your own movies out. You don't have to go to Hollywood anymore. Like you got people, you got YouTubers out here making freaking blockbuster looking freaking movies, man. You don't need Hollywood anymore. Hollywood is honestly starting to come. People don't need it anymore.
So I think Katt was saying I haven't sold my soul.
What's your take on Katt Williams' way? Everybody up on this.
Hold on, wait a minute. So it was some people down in the comments that didn't know who the heck this was, and I thought that was like, you don't know. I understand. I'm gonna let it rock. But this is Lavelle Crawford. Lavelle Crawford is one of the funniest guys, man. He's a very, very talented comedian. I think he won. He won something, I believe, for $100,000.
Distraction. Let me tell you something. It's a distraction. Katt Williams is a very talented brother, and he's very vocal. And my take on it is everybody talk about, I'm cool with. How I be cool with people? I don't be around them a lot. Me and Steve Harvey let me do the Hoodie Awards several times. I got to do his radio show. He didn't help me out a lot of times, man. I ain't kissing his ass, but he ain't put me in his movie, which that's what I wanted to do. I was hoping. He said, you and Isaiah are the perfect duo. Somebody said that was that you pal underscore 85. You Paul, you pal. You know him? Okay. Well, thank you, Paul. You pal 85. I appreciate the love. Yeah, but my thing on the Katt Williams thing, I think Katt, he just gonna talk. He one of them cats, man. He ain't afraid of nobody. He say what's on his mind. And he probably had some confrontation with our family because you gotta remember, the more the money go up in your life, the more the what you call spite comes out of other people. And if y'all all on the same score, see the one thing about black entertainers, we think it's only one bag.
Yeah, a lot of
we
people
don't even understand, man. I couldn't even get in with the Fridays and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, because they wouldn't call me, but I got in with the Adam Sandlers. I got in with Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. When Netflix wouldn't let me do a special with them, they put my special on that I filmed somewhere else. I did Showtime, and thank you Showtime so many times, and I appreciate Netflix showing my special on their platform. Tubi, big shout out to them. But hey, man, like I tell people all the time, we think it's just one bag, and that's how these beefs come up. Because you making it, you can, you start giving beef, and then some comments do still. I seen a comedian go up right before me and do my damn joke. Dang. I seen one go up right after me and do one of my damn jokes, and then talked about it, and then did the joke, and they famous.
Wow.
And I fronted the nigga about it. But when Katt talked about his experiences, and some of it might be a far-fetched, and it might be some of it's comedy. He a comedian, and he be thinking everything he say is beef, and some of the stuff he probably got beef with. He know these people. This dude, I want some of that good career. I want the bull crap that he going through. But man, that brother was making $100,000 a show.
Now, I also wanted to speak about this as well because a lot of people think that this was a bad move for Katt, which I completely disagree with. That dude, his whole life honestly seems like he's playing chess. He's a million times more talented than most people, million times more intelligent, and people think that this hurt. Like somebody was saying something up under the comments, like you need to watch the 48 Laws of Power, and I think that this was not a good move for him. Do you realize what this interview just did for his career in 2024? Him being on Shannon Sharp, that video now having over 31 million views in less than a week. He is now one of the most thought out people to interview in 2024 right now. Everybody is trying to get him on. They see 31 million views in less than a week. You know how much money that is? How many eyeballs, how many subscribers, followers, comments, likes, dislikes? You know how much attention that can bring to a studio, to a page, to a business? That's a lot of eyeballs. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people coming to check out your doggone platform. Everybody is trying to do an interview with him right now. This was probably the smartest move that he has made in a long time, in my personal belief.
He showed that on a video one time. He was making 100,000 a show. All I need is 1 year of that, Lord. 1 year, Jesus. I claim it in your mighty name. But my thing is, man, you know, I know all these comics, man, and from Quake to Ricky Smiley. And Ricky Smiley looked out for me, man. I got locked up in Oklahoma. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, Jesus.
Them some good brothers, though, man. I do believe it.
They look just like Jesus. the white Jesus. But
we're gonna check out.
Can't spell hustle without saying STL. You damn right, baby. But we get down, man. I don't have no time for beef. I mean, even when I had somebody was mad at me, I confronted them. We did it and we moved on. I don't sit up and fester that, man. And, you know, Katt been blessed. All these guys been blessed to do what they do. I'm blessed to do what I do. I ain't even got the $100,000 to show, but I'm blessed that these wonderful people come out to see me every week. They come out and holler at me and let me go up and do my thing. And I try to stay fresh as funny as possible for all of them. And I got family to take care of, man. I got things lingering over me, man. When I get out of the game in a few years, I may tell some stories about some stuff because I've seen some shit and I've been through some shit. But I mean, the things that I've done, I've been in, I mean, people wouldn't even believe because I keep myself on a platform that, you know, people say, oh, you just nice. I said, I'm not nice. I'm kind. I'm kind, but you cross me, you'll see another nigga. But I'm not that one to go up and just bother you and, you know, go trip off stuff. And if you steal my joke, I make a better one. And you know, a comedian stole my joke and I went up after the nigga. And y'all know him, y'all go buy tickets to this nigga's show. And he a new booty. And he went up and did my shit. And I went up behind him and did my shit again. And I got a standing ovation. That's how hard I go. So that's how you got to look at those things. But, you know, he talked about a lot of different categories. And I think it was great podcast for Club Shay Shay. It probably got Club Shay Shay all the interest he needed because that nigga I done been talked about on his show a couple of times and he ain't asked me to come on his show. Lavelle Crawford been brought up with Bruce, and been brought up with Ricky Smiley. And ain't once he said, hey man, let me get Lavelle on because he said on with Katt on there talking about, I think I got all the best comedians on here. And I was like, oh, for real? And I said, that's cool. That's cool. I said, because, you know, hey, none of that stuff make me or break me. Ain't none of them cats talking about people ain't going to put no money in my pocket. I work with every single person he named so I can make some money. We ain't got to see each other. I don't have no beef with nobody. And if I do, we'll holler. I ain't one of them niggas that walk around with this energy. And I think Katt, one of them cats that don't need it because he say their names and they ain't afraid to do it. I respect him. He got a lot of nuts. And I like that about him. I respect him. Katt gave me the best compliment I ever got. And, you know, it's some people say he gave them money. I would love to get $100,000 from him, but I ain't paying it back. But he gave me the best compliment ever. He said, I became famous off my stand-up alone. And I met him. That's when I was at the Ralph grocery store. And he was out in the car and his people was inside. They said he come there all the time. I went out there and we shook hands, man. It was good to see Katt. And me and Katt been knowing each other a long time.
That's what's up, man.
But
That's love,
I,
right?
you know, that's how I chime in on this stuff. And I said the comedians that he named, when you chime in on stuff, it just makes it more valid. You know, if it ain't true,
you should shut up, bro.
You know, all the money you got and all the blessings you got. Why you on Instagram
I'm
going, oh, that ain't true. That ain't true.
You see Steve Harvey haven't said anything, and I do not believe that Steve Harvey is gonna say anything. He gonna let this thing ride. Well, we'll see, because we know tomorrow he'll be on his radio show or whatever. So I'm gonna listen in. I'm gonna listen in tomorrow, man, and see if he say anything about this.
True. You making yourself look guilty.
And
man, people say stuff about me. I holler at you. I ain't trying to bring the internet. Somebody trying to choose a side. Motherfucker, I don't have no side. I got God's side. I got my family side. I ain't in that BS bullshit. No bullets was thrown at me. I mean, that world is what it is, you know. I mean, the opportunities I got, I thank the Lord for every one of them. And he blessed me, and he can bless you too if you want to do it. But if you sit around worrying about somebody talking about you all day, you're gonna be tired and dead.
So I want to know your advice for Katt Williams.
Can y'all see that? That thing is at 32 million views right now. Now it's tied right now for the most viewed interview on the internet, I believe, right now. And I believe Joe Rogan actually has the number 1 and number 2, but this is tied right now, and it's only 4 days. And that other video has about, the top interview is like 51, and that's over 2 years old. So it's coming.
Right now.
Oh, I know Katt. Katt can fight. Katt ain't to be fucked with. That's my that's big Unc right there. I'm with Katt, man. I stand with Katt, man. Yeah, I'm with Unc. So yeah, I'm with him. Don't hate. If he catch one of them in person, it'll be the same energy he had on that podcast to their face. And he'll be on that with them people. That's
why I respect it so much, because anybody that know Katt Williams, you ain't even got to know him. You can just tell anything that he has to say on a podcast or whatever, he's gonna say that to that person's face. He don't care how big you are. He don't care how many people you got with you. If that's how he feel, that's how he feel, that he gonna stand on that.
One thing I can respect about it. He's not gonna say nothing on no podcast that he wouldn't say to their face.
I mean, a lot of comedians feel like, they're kind of against it right now. I mean, where do you kind of stand right now? I mean,
I can never be against Katt Williams. I'm with him. I'm on his team forever. Me and Katt was on my first TV show, Tracy Morgan show. I've been on Katt since I was about 7 years old. I'm 27 now. So, you know what I mean? One thing about it, I stand on loyalty.
And that's what's up. I respect that thing wholeheartedly. So we're going to check out 2 more. We got Faizon Love. I did not get to put that in the video because I honestly didn't even know that that was out there. I didn't know that Faizon actually had beef or had something to say about Katt Williams. So we're gonna get into this one next. Faizon Love, for those that don't know, I believe Katt did mention Faizon in there and basically said, like, this dude done been doing comedy for how long, and he don't have a special, he's not funny or whatever. He had a lot of smoke for Faizon. I don't know what beef they got, but I guess we about to find out.
Whatever you say, Jay's gonna be on YouTube with it, man. You have an unnatural allegiance to losers is an insane thing to say to somebody. Listen, man, Katt Williams has all these comedians panties in a bunch, and rightfully so, right? If you say something about me that I feel is untrue, I'm gonna come back with my response. Faizon Love is up next on the docket after Katt Williams clowned him for the type of roles he would do in movies, basically short roles where he only had to take his shirt off.
To create a character, you can't just be Faizon in every movie. Like, you just gonna take your shirt off on every movie? Like, why does it say that in your script?
Man, let Big Worm live. Let him breathe, Katt. Let Big Worm breathe. Call him out now.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
No.
Faizon Love took to Instagram today to respond back to Katt Williams. Here's what he said.
Chimp Williams.
There we go.
Chimp Williams.
There we go. Come on.
It's hard to address lunacy and hypocrisy, downright ignorance. But it's so funny how many people think this dumb, stupid motherfucker is spitting truth. But that's the internet, I guess. You guys want to believe.
And when you call somebody dumb and you
something.
call somebody stupid, you need to make sure, that person is dumb or stupid. Now, not one person will say that about Katt Williams. One thing that he is not is dumb or stupid. That guy is very, very intelligent. All right. Now he done did some questionable things over the years or whatever, but come on, fam. Come on, man. Again, don't get in your feelings. Just keep it a bandwidth.
So bad. I guess you left God and now you believe in chimps like this nigga who's an actual chimp and you're not listening to what he's saying. He's actually calling for help. He's calling for help. None of the shit he says lines up with nothing. He runs a Ford something sub. This is where he tells on himself. He took a tractor trailer after stopping in a tractor trailer lot, a truck stop, and aborted that truck and went to Miami. He rolled in the back of that truck.
So here's the thing, though. When he was talking about you, he spoke about you not being funny. He spoke about you not having a special. He spoke about, a number of things. I'm trying to figure out why in the world is he choosing to focus on everything else right now? Like, speak on what he was talking about when it comes to you, brother. Like, clear your name on the thing.
What a stranger. Now, back then they had a saying, ass, grass, or gas. Nobody rides for free. Katt was giving up that ass to take that ride.
See, look, now this is what I'm talking about, man. Like, if you gonna speak, get on here and speak facts, man. Don't get on here and again be in your feelings about what he said. At least come with some facts or something. This right here, this is honestly not helping your argument.
A Greyhound only costs $20 to go. Maybe I'm a boy. He seems to have said that before. I want to talk about that ride down to Florida where you were selling stolen radios for $2,000. And back then, the best radio you can buy is an Alpine, and they cost $253, brand new. So stolen, anybody knows who used to steal them out of cars, you can't sell them for nothing for $100, $150.
Now, I don't think Faizon actually thinks Katt Williams is calling out for help. If that was the case, then he wouldn't be on Instagram clowning him and trying to put him.
All right, so that was Faizon, what Faizon had to say. Now we're going to get into what Aries Spears had to say. Just listening to Faizon, what he had to say, I don't think he had anything solid, man. He pretty much just went live just to show his face because none of that stuff honestly made sense. It was just him just mumbling on camera, man.
Y'all say what go is, Katt is your goat. I understand that. But that's a useless title.
Okay, hold on, wait a minute. I forgot. Aries Spears, he's from up north, so he gonna speak fast. I normally have the stuff on 2 because a lot of people speaking slow, man. They hit a lot of ums and all that other stuff.
So as far as y'all saying what the goat is, Katt is your goat. I understand that. But that's a useless title. Then you say things like, yo, we gotta protect Katt at all costs. Protect him at all costs. Did he cure cancer? Did he cure AIDS? Did he end racism? Did he figure out black poverty? Turn the volume down. Protect Katt.
No, the reason why they saying is because he's speaking facts. It ain't got nothing to do with him curing anything. The fact that you got somebody that's gonna get on here that's gonna be unapologetic and gonna speak on some real ish. That's the reason why people are saying protect Katt, because we know when you start talking about the industry. And you guys know everything up under that umbrella. When you start to talk about certain type of communities, when you start speaking about the Illuminati, for some reason, things tend to happen to those people. So that's the reason why people are probably saying it ain't got nothing to do with all that extra stuff. Like, come on, bro. Like, relax.
At all costs. Knock it off. Keep it in perspective. This is a news cycle.
Yo, what's up? This bruh man from the 5th floor, and you tuned in to Forgotten Kings TV.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Aries Spears here. A lot of people have been asking me on Instagram about my thoughts on the Katt Williams situation, and he did mention me. It was a head scratcher because I don't know what I did to him. I was going to save this for my podcast, but I might as well kind of get into it now. And basically, I'm going to repeat the same thing on my podcast. And, again, people ask me what I thought about it. And I'm going to say this. I think it's sad. It saddens me to know that my people, the people I love, black people, as well as everybody else, but my people come first, black people, we love drama. We love drama. We stew in it. We love it so much that we allow it to be detrimental to the progress of us and the culture. We absolutely love it. Because I'm asking myself, why did he do something that was both unnecessary and absolutely pointless? And in reading the comments, you know, I can tell we love drama by the shit we say, you know. Protect Katt at all costs. We got to protect Katt. He the GOAT. He the GOAT. And I want to address both those things. All right, number one, the GOAT thing is a useless title. Every comedian, every entertainer, and every performer is the GOAT to their fan base. Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer are the GOATs to their fan base.
Okay, so why do you feel the need that you need to say that? Like, bro, come on, man. Come on, fam.
Wanda Sykes, everybody he called out, Ricky Smiley, Kevin Hart, Chris Tucker, they're all GOATs to their fan base. I get called a GOAT and a legend all the time. If you think I'm tooting my own horn, look at my comedy clips. Go through the comments. Aries, you're a GOAT. You're a legend. While that's flattering, it's a useless title. There can only be one GOAT, and his name was Richard Pryor.
That's your personal opinion, bro. Just get on with it, man. You done spent 2 minutes talking about nothing.
Yeah, I remember one of my favorite things to watch was the 30 for 30 with Shaq on ESPN when he was playing for the Orlando Magic. And in his younger days, he goes, you know, when people would ask me whose team is it, when you're in your 20s, you care about shit like that. I had to let people know it was my team. But as I got older, I realized that's a useless title because the ultimate goal was to win a championship. So as far as y'all say who the GOAT is, Katt is your GOAT. I understand that. But that's a useless title. Then you say things like, yo, we got to protect Katt at all costs. Protect him at all costs. Did he cure cancer? Did he cure AIDS? Did he end racism? Did he figure out black poverty? Turn the volume down. Protect Katt at all costs.
No, but he calling out a lot of stuff that's going on in the industry. That's what they saying. He's calling out a lot of y'all, what a lot of people have seen that's going on with all these guys wearing dresses and everything like that. Like, man, come on, fam.
Knock it off. Keep it in perspective. This is a news cycle. That's all this is. It's a news cycle. This ain't curing cancer. This ain't nothing to protect nobody about. Oh, he shook up Hollywood. He exposed Hollywood. Ooh, he told the truth. Again, to me, this is pointless. What did he do? What did he change? He didn't change anything. Steve Harvey is still going to be Steve Harvey. The success, the fame, the money, the momentum, the adulation, the respect, the adoration from the fans is still going to all be there. Same thing with Cedric. Same thing with Chris Tucker. Same thing with Ludacris.
That's Cap, bro. That's Cap. Steve Harvey is losing steam by the mother loving day. And of course, it started from that little movement, him being a part of the feminist movement. Cedric the Entertainer. Yeah, a lot of people had love for Ced, but after hearing these things, people are kind of looking at him sideways, like, damn, you stole that man's joke. Like, nah, fam. He's shining a light on all the BS that's been going on that a lot of us didn't have, like we didn't have no knowledge about it. He putting a lot of those, what they call kings of comedy, he putting them on blast. Rightfully so, especially if you're stealing his jokes and he's not getting any credit for it. Like, come on, fam. And then y'all get on here and you deny it. Now, he probably wouldn't even said anything about Ced, right? If he would just be like, man, you know what, I don't even want to speak about that, or you know, don't ask me. You know what I'm saying, man? That was Katt's joke. But
same thing with Wanda Sykes, same thing with me, same thing with Ricky Smiley. Everybody that he named will still go on. Nothing has changed. All right, this wasn't life or world changing. It's a news cycle. And it's funny because this is why I say social media is both a blessing and a curse and dangerous. This phone, this device gives everybody a platform. Everybody gets to be heard, which is power. And everybody don't deserve power. I'm reading some of the comments about Kevin, and I'm reading stupid shit like, oh man, Kevin's fan base is turning on him now. Katt done made it so his fan base is turning on him now. Kevin ain't never been funny. He ain't funnier than Katt. Well, first of all of that is subjective. Secondly, when people are saying that Kevin ain't funny or he ain't funnier than Katt, we're never Kevin Hart fans to begin with. Don't get it twisted. Kevin Hart is a global phenomenon. He's globally famous. He can go anywhere in the world and sell out a whole arena, a stadium by himself. The box office movie receipts don't lie. The tickets, the receipts at the ticket gate that you go through when you go to the arena sold out, don't lie. So for all these people that think that Katt has turned the world on its axis about Kevin, knock it off. Turn the volume down. Kevin is just fine. And again, those people saying that negative shit about Kevin were never fans to begin with. But you let people tell it, average Joes who now have power because of the phone and the platform, we must, Katt exposed the Illuminati. We must stop giving our money to these devil worshippers. We must take our power back. What power? You're not that serious. You're not that important. Stay in your lane.
Oh, that's a lot, brother. Again, man, when you're Well, he doesn't. I don't know if he don't understand. I'm pretty sure he understands this. As an entertainer, who pays you? Those average people that you are talking about right now. So if they don't show up for them doggone concerts, if they don't show up when you come to a show or whatever, if they don't show up, you don't get paid. So what does that mean? Like the dollars are not gonna flow, fam, if you don't have those eyeballs, those clicks, like all of those things. Like if Katt Williams was to do a freaking show right now, especially after this, and I think that he is, man, that show is gonna do mother flipping numbers from those same average people that he's talking about right now. Like, what are you doing, fam? If anything, this live stream would do more harm than good for you, not on his part.
And last but not least, here's this. While we're all focusing so hardly on what Katt did, which again, I think was unnecessary and pointless. There's a young, beautiful Black actress who we all know and love, who recently has been all over social media, literally in tears, because she's not getting the money that her white female counterparts get, Taraji P. Henson. So while we're all focusing on the Katt Williams type drama news cycle, there's that. So my point is this. Instead of Katt using his platform and his mouthpiece and his power and his influence for drama and a news cycle that's going to be gone when the next hot news cycle comes along, why don't we use our powers and our platform to figure out how we as a community in Black Hollywood can come together and amass our own wealth, build our own empire, be like Jeffrey Katzenberg, Michael Eisenberg, and Steven Spielberg. I don't fucking know their names, but form our own DreamWorks. Tyler Perry is cool, but that's all we got. Why don't we figure out how to make it so that we don't have to come to them hat in hand and wait for them to feed us? And then
Now, I have a question, right? Don't Aries Spears know a lot of people? You know, a lot of people in high places, right? You know, a lot. He's been in the game for a very long time. And while he is saying all of this, which I do not disagree with him at all, but are you doing this? You're talking about, again, right now you're speaking to average people that ain't really got too much pull from what he says. So why don't you, as a seasoned comedian that has these type of contacts, are you not out here doing it? You're asking the same people that you say are average Joes with a mother-loving phone. Now you're asking them, like, this is contradicted, man.
Then once we make the money that we need to make building our own empire, funnel that money back into our communities and our ghettos and our neighborhoods and our streets so that we could build back up before the Tulsa, Oklahoma City massacre and have our own shit and be well-to-do. Wouldn't that be a better use of one's power and one's influence and one's mouthpiece than to create a news cycle? Because all Katt did was do what we as kids would do on the playground in elementary school or middle school. It was like a rap battle or a roast session. Katt said what he said, and my people, Black people who I love, who love drama, got a chance to go, oh, did you hear what he said? Oh, he shook up the game. He exposed Hollywood through Illuminati. Oh, that's all he did.
No, fam. What he did was he started the conversation. He struck that thing back up, and now, again, we're having a conversation about it. And before you do anything, you need to understand that words have so much power today in 2024 more than ever. When you take that doggone flashlight, you start, I mean, let's just go ahead and use Kevin Samuels, for example, right? Shout out to Kevin Samuels, man. One of the greatest to ever do it. To start a conversation where now we have so many podcasts that are popping up all over the place. Men and women are starting to sit across from each other and have a conversation about the things that they like and they dislike. And, you know, although all the conversations are not good conversations, you're going to always have people on, you know, the extreme side of whatever. But the majority of people are actually starting to talk and they're starting to listen. And change. I can honestly see a huge change in how people go about their relationships now. And I can honestly respect it.
And Black people, y'all live for that. Y'all live for that drama. We focus on that when we should be focused on how do we form like the Avengers and really take this over. Because we know what we do when we come together and we get our heads right.
I agree with this.
Let that be the focus and not a temporary news cycle. And, you know, I want to add this little tidbit because I know there will be people that will say in the comments, well, you know, what about you, Aries? You've been on social media and have blasted people and have said things before. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know what? I have. And there are some things that I've said that I obviously regret. And then there are other things that I've said that I may not necessarily regret. But at the end of the day, I got to grow up It's about growth. I'm tired of being a 48-year-old, 15-year-old. I got to grow up. And
So did you just get that wake up call when he did this and, you know, his video has over 32 million views? Like you're just now getting that wake up call? I'm curious, right?
last thing is this. You know, I know there are people, and this is what I mean when I say we love drama. There will be people in the comments that will say shit like, man, y'all don't want that smoke. All the comedians he talked about are all running like roaches with the lights on. They don't want that smoke. First of all, listen, man, we're all professional comedians, which is to say we're all professional shit talkers. We all come from the same streets, whether it's the streets of Detroit, streets of Chicago, LA, DC, Philly, New York, Atlanta, Birmingham. We all come from the same streets called struggle, poverty, humble beginnings. And in order for you to overcome that, you got to be fearless in your heart. Ain't nobody scared of Katt Williams. Ain't nobody scared. Ain't nobody worried about smoke. I'm just saying, let's use our powers for the greater good. I'm here for the smoke. DM me for the link to the Spears and Steinberg podcast. Also, go to our YouTube channel on YouTube under Spearsburg Pod. Hit like and subscribe. There it is, man. It's your boy Aries Spears, man. We're going to be talking about this on the podcast. Love y'all.
Right. So you're about to go ahead and do the exact same thing that you were just talking about everybody else doing. Having a conversation about what's going on. And again, the next big news cycle, we know how podcasts work, fam. I mean, that's a part of the job. As soon as something like this happens, then you need to speak on it. You speak on it, you give your take, and hopefully everybody gets to the point where, you know, they're trying to push towards what the things that he was speaking about, which I do not disagree with at all, which is, you know, getting together, creating our own, where we don't have to necessarily go to other people or go outside. Like, again, I agree with all of those things. But fam, it sounds like you're about to do the exact same thing that you're trying to talk trash to other people about. You're doing the exact same thing. You're just feeling some type of way, or it sounds like you're feeling some type of way because it seems like the spotlight is now on Katt. You got a lot of smoke. I would love to hear. If I don't think Steve is really going to speak on it too much, man, because I think the worst thing you can do is get to a back and forth with somebody that is more intelligent than you. That's the last thing you want to do, because they're going to make you look bad, especially getting into a back and forth with somebody that's more intelligent and they're a comedian. Nah. And they know ish. They some of the people you just got to leave alone. You know what? Let them have it. Eventually, this thing will die down. Anton Daniels actually said something I thought was like one of the smartest things that I have heard from anyone. Anytime you done got yourself in some ish, and I encourage people to use this. Anytime you feel like you done got yourself in some ish, man, the worst thing you can do is respond. The best thing you can do is continue to go about your day and just basically, you know what, I ain't even going to address it, because more times than not, you address it, it's going to look and it's going to sound bad. You're going to be doing more harm than good. And in most cases, that's the freaking truth. Like people like Steve Harvey, listen, the reason why people are not really speaking and talking about Steve that much right now, because he hasn't said a freaking word. That's how you handle it. Now, Ricky Smiley did do an excellent job with how he handled that thing. Now, I'm not really going to say Ice Cube did a good job, because let's keep it a band. He wasn't really talking trash about Ice Cube, but he had smoke for, you know, pretty much everybody else, or just keeping it a band about everybody else, what was going on in the industry or whatever. But Ricky Smiley, one of the people that he had a lot to say about, Ricky Smiley did a really, really good job. Listen, I don't have any ill will towards the brother. You know, he shouted him out. If he needs anything from me or my team, we are always going to be there. We're always going to help. He even gave that man's tour dates when he's going to be here, and I want y'all to pack it. Like, pack it. He's coming into, you know, my hometown or whatever, but I want y'all to make sure y'all go out there and y'all support that brother. Because at the end of the day, he's one of us. He's a comedian. And you got to, you don't have a choice but to respect that. And listen, look at, you know, how people were looking at him while Katt Williams was talking, right? This is a perfect opportunity to handle things like a grown mother flipping man, not getting your feelings about the situation, because we know you can do that. But again, when you're dealing with somebody that's a lot more intelligent, that probably got a lot more on you, and they're just handle it the way that Ricky Smiley did it, or just don't say anything at all. Those are the best ways to handle these things. The worst thing to do is do what Aries Spears did. The worst thing to do is do what Cedric the Entertainer did. The worst thing to do is to do what Ludacris did, because all of them are honestly looking like complete idiots right now. Because all of that stuff either is going to resurface and something going to pop up and like, oh, somebody lying. But there's not too many people talking about Steve Harvey right now. Ain't said a freaking word. And I'm gonna be honest. Listen, man, I absolutely love Kevin Hart's work ethic. That brother has got to be one of the hardest working men in the industry. And that's the reason why he has been able to find a level of success that nobody can honestly touch right now in the comedy game. It ain't even close. The level of success that he has had over the years, man, it cannot be touched. But let's keep it a band. It really did seem and feel like he was in his feelings when he was speaking about, Katt Williams and the situation and everything. Like, bro, that's not the way to go about doing things, man. Don't respond to negativity. And I don't understand why a person that's in that type of position, don't have a PR and they're not putting him up on game. Like, man, just don't worry about it. You got movies that's coming out, you got deals or whatever. When people come to your page, when people like that, when Katt Williams say something like that, the best thing to do, if you have anything that's going on, put that thing on Front Street. Like, put that thing on your Facebook, your Instagram. And when I say put that, I mean, like, if you got tour dates that's coming up, if you got a movie that's coming out, those are the things that you should be posting. Those are the things you should be talking about. Because people are coming to your page. They're coming to see what you have to say. Hey, the only thing you're going to get over here is subscribe to my YouTube channel. The only thing you're going to get over here, hey, my movie coming out on such and such the 15th or whatever. And you're gonna have a couple of people that's gonna go to that thing and be like, oh man, he ain't talking about nothing. You're gonna have some people that, oh, he got a new movie coming out. I ain't doing nothing this weekend. I might as well go see that or whatever. Like, come on, man. You got to use your head for more than a freaking hat rack, man. But anyway, man, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think anybody else has responded that I know of. If they do, like, let's go ahead, let's get into it. Let's talk about it, man. Again, anytime somebody's being negative, people, the reason why I have these type of conversations, the reason why we bring these type of things up is the solution. All right, let's get to the overall solution. How should you go about handling this if this was to happen to you? And I laid it out. This is exactly how you handle things, man. Either you don't respond to it, or if you respond to it, you got to kill them with kindness, man. Or when people come to your page, when people are coming to check out, to see what you are going to respond with, you should be moving. You should be doing something. And that's the way, that's how you level up. All publicity is good publicity. I promise you, all exposure is good exposure if you do things the correct way. On the road to 100,000 subscribers, man. Y'all watch, by the end of this year, we will be at 100K. We're at 20K right now. Well, almost. We're at 19.4 thousand subscribers. We will be at 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Watch us work, baby. In the meantime, between time, I'm going to go ahead and get a little shutout before I got to get back up and get after it. Y'all have been a great audience. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out. Share this with a friend. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Y'all be blessed and beautiful. All right. Peace.